Hey, what's up, everyone? This is going to be episode 5 of the Kid from the Cove podcast. Today, I'm doing an episode all by myself. There's been a lot going on in my life that I feel right now would be inspiring to others and hopefully open up a door mentally to people that may struggle with certain things. A couple of things that I'm going to be speaking about today is how serious mental health is. It's been in the news lately a little bit with everything going on with Kanye West recently over the last week. And that's been a discussion on media platforms such as news media and then daytime television shows. I saw a lot of people that have platforms speaking about how we need to bring light to these kind of situations, and we need to bring light to mental health. And that kind of irked me a little bit in the sense that I don't believe that we speak about mental health for everybody. We speak about mental health when it comes down to the 1% that is famous enough to make people go, what the fuck, that guy's losing it. If you knew how many people that same disorder affects a ton of people, I'm I'll say this, I'm thankful that I know people that have struggles with mental health because I understand where they're coming from and I get how it can affect other people. So one of the things that I saw was Kim Kardashian West came out and said that he has bipolar disorder. I know people and I know others that have the same disorder that go through the same thing that man goes through. The only difference is he's running for president and the people I know are just living a normal, quote unquote, normal daily life. And that is the only time you hear people with platforms speaking about mental health. It bothers me because they talk about, I don't know, back, I believe in the early, I think from like 2010 to about 2015, about Charlie Sheen having breakdowns. Everyone used that as a aha, got you. The rich person, the rich guy that has everything losing a lot because of struggles, whether it's an addiction or mental health. And I guess I'm trying to understand why we need one specific type of person to speak about it. This affects a ton of people, a wide variety of people. It affected me, I would say, Thursday. I had a massive episode. It scared me. It traumatized me. I just wanted to cry. And I'm not a, how can I say this? Introvert, extrovert. I'm not an introvert. I'm very out there. I'm outgoing. I believe in myself and I believe that I know who I am as a person. I don't get depressed easily and I don't get depressed a lot. I don't cry. I don't cry a lot. It takes a lot for me to get there. Thursday was just one of those days. I was speaking to a friend of mine and she had asked me what's wrong. At the end of the day, I don't know what's wrong. I just didn't want to be working. I didn't want to be talking to no one. I didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. I just wanted to cry for some reason. I explained this to my mom. I talked to my mom about it more than my dad, but I was talking to my mom about it, and she goes, did something happen? Maybe a couple days ago or a week ago or whatever? No, I haven't. At one point, about a month, month and a half ago, I decided to separate myself from almost everybody that I am close to. I did that because I realized that in this point of my life, I needed to understand how to get through tough times on my own. And I was struggling with that. I didn't know if I should turn to someone. I made a post to hopefully see what other people thought and would say about dealing with being depressed. I got a lot of great feedback, and it made me feel mentally it opened up a doorway for me. And that's what I needed. I need this little push to kind of open the door for myself. And sometimes it's just reminding yourself that you've done good. It's reminding yourself that you're inspiring others and you're trying to do the right thing. And you're staying true to yourself, and you're by staying true to yourself and putting your word out there, you're gonna inspire other people to be like, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's my end goal. One of the things that I struggled with was a lot of things from my past with my relationships, friends, girlfriend, father, all of that. I had felt like such a disappointment for the longest time that I didn't know who I was because I never focused on me. It was always trying to please her or please my mother or just try not to fuck up to piss my dad off. And I feel like a lot of us fall into that category of being like, we don't know what to do. Unfortunately, I had big blowups. I got into fights with my dad all the time. I regret it because I hurt myself for someone that that I love dearly. My past, I would say, with past friendships, blew up in my face because I was so focused on my relationship with my ex that I kind of blew him off. It was like I got a girlfriend. At the end of the day, a girlfriend you can build with friendships. Friendships are friendships, and I'm thankful for my friendships. But at the end of the day, like my friendships with my boy Andy, my boy Tony, James, everyone. I know one day when we're in our 30s, I can call him and be like, "Hey, let's smoke a cigar and get some whiskey." You know what I mean? Like I know that will be there, but I'm not gonna have kids with him. So to me, I can't build a life. I'm not gonna build a life of a friendship, and that was something that I struggled with a little bit. And I realized on Thursday, thinking about it, I have these two or three thoughts that go through my head all the time when I get depressed. It always goes like this. It's always, you're no good, you're a piece of shit. Why the fuck would you do that? What kind of decision making were you doing? Why did you say what you said? Why did you do what you did? Why didn't you react differently at this time? And my main reasons for that is I remember I don't think we should ever take advantage of being in love with someone. I don't think we'll ever know if you're okay with, or I don't know if we'll ever understand the meaning of love in the sense that it's an unexplainable emotion and feeling that you get when you're with someone and when you're not with them. It's the willingness to do anything to see a smile on their face, and I believe it's an unconditional love. No matter how much they hurt you, you'll always love them. You'll always be there. You'll always want them around, no matter what. I guess one of the things that I struggled with after my relationship, I needed closure. I needed to understand what I did wrong, even though I kind of understood what I did, but that took a lot of time and effort. I needed to know that no matter what, I didn't want to go on with my life not being okay with this person. I knew that I needed resolution and I needed answers. I got some of my answers, not all of them, but most of them. Oh. At the same time, thinking about all those answers that you want, you can't help but think about the mistakes you made. I truly believe calling a woman crazy, saying she's nuts, saying she's psycho, you speak a lot of things you say that may hurt someone is literally in there's this saying, the heat of the moment, right? It's not really the heat of the moment. Because in that moment, you're upset. in that moment, you still love them, but you're not thinking about the love you have for them. Because if you were thinking about the love you have for them and how much that person means to you, you would never want to hurt them. But to me, that means that the thing that you were upset about outweighed in your own head was more, you were more passionate about how mad you were at that person than you love them. And that's why you said, and that's why you say what you say when you're upset. I had to understand that that wasn't me. I have to understand that those were mistakes. I have to understand that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you grow from them and never say or hurt someone the way you might have said or hurt someone in the past. Those kind of things can make you real depressed because you feel like a scumbag. But you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be truthful to you and your future. If you're not, you'll keep making the same mistakes for the rest of your life. Other things I want to talk about with COVID going on, in a weird way, with everything going on right now with COVID, it's weird that all of us are still kind of like, it's weird to me how the media is amping up the virus, saying how things are spiking from this west coast down south, but as you go north, it lowers out, and as you head east, it's kind of going down, which is mind-boggling because in my head, I don't want to be on another lockdown. If I have to, I have to, but I don't want to. I don't think any of us want to. But I was thankful that on Saturday I got to record my fourth episode with my good friend Jesse. That was the first time in a while I thought it was good to get out and just sit and talk, chop it up, and let everyone hear what we have to say. In a weird way, with everything going on in the world, I believe now more than ever is a time to come together and to talk. Be there for one another, uplift one another during a time that we have no idea what the future holds. It's moments like this in the world that you're going to look back on and you're going to realize how much of an impact we're going to have on the future and how we could have uplifted one another and helped one another. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why the girls over at the True Colors podcast, Brittany Walter and Megan Lauer, they are one of the reasons why I started doing this because I thought it was so uplifting what they were doing. I think it's great that we have an open dialogue and a discussion about good times, bad times, and everything in between. We all go through great times. The problem is we live in a society where all we want to push out there is great times. Everyone's laughing and smiling and having a good old fucking time. We all want to do that. It's a fake persona. We're not always that happy. If you were to look at my normal Instagram page, you see a lot of stuff that I hope people can find inspiration in, such as weight loss, a journey, a goal, and a dream that you can strive and push for. One of the other things is I posted a picture from after a workout that I took. No filter, sweating, hot, not wearing a super fancy outfit, none of that. Just a picture of a kid in his backyard. Those are the realest moments. Those are the moments where you're at your most vulnerable, when you're at the peak of pushing yourself on this world. I put a very long paragraph about my depression that day because I wanted people to see that it's okay to not be smiling and happy and optimistic about the future because sometimes we're not. I hate to say it, and sometimes we live in a world where we want everything to be great and cool and fun and awesome and look how funny he is or look how good he looks or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, we all go through ups and downs. I have great days where yesterday was one of them. I was exhausted. Um, but I got my room all cleaned up. It's nice. It's great. Me and my mother were chopping it up, listening to country music, singing, talking. I'm going through my room, cleaning out my room. It's just a small feel good story about my mother. I'm going through my room, cleaning my room out, and I'm cleaning out my mom's cleaning my closet out. I'm working on my dressers, my drawers, dusting my bed, under my bed, my shoes, everything, putting everything together. I have a ton of clothes. Didn't realize how many clothes I had until I started taking everything out and digging through my closet. And she finds a green binder. And on this binder, on the front, there's a picture of me and my ex-girlfriend, Brittany. One of the first pictures that we didn't take, but we were on a roller coaster together at Knott's Berry Farm. That was in the front. And on the back side was a letter she had written me back in, we got together on 9/13/2014. This letter was dated 9/30/2014. That letter will be 6 years old in September. That letter's been in there on the back of my binder since she wrote that for me. And my mom gives me, and she goes, what does it say? And I'm like, I'm reading it, and she goes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why are you sorry, Mom? She's like, I don't want to see you get depressed or sad. I said, I'm not. And she goes, I hope you know that no matter what happens in your life, you're still a good kid. And that made me feel so good because reading that letter, it brought up so many cold memories. For some reason, when I see something happy about my past relationship, it hurts to this day. It really does. It doesn't go away. It doesn't make you feel any better, and it doesn't make you go, oh, I remember the good times. As much as the memories that I have, when I think of the good times, because there's so many good times, I always remember the bad. Because frankly, we go through shit in relationships. Me personally, I truly thought I was gonna marry this girl. Anything short of that, I thought she was gonna be the mother of my kids. I'm gonna be very honest. I thought all of that with this woman. So when you see something good, it hurts even more because you're like, that's nowhere near the goals I had. Nothing even close. And it bums you the fuck out, honestly. Kind of freaks you out a little bit. How you can think so highly of someone and have all these goals and aspirations with them. And then you see something like that, and all it does is just go, wow, you fucked that up, didn't you? You know what I mean? And But I was thankful that my mother was there for me and was like, you don't have to read it if it makes you depressed. My mom understands that I get in these weird episodes during the day. I guess working from home, it kind of gets that way, being alone all day with no one to talk to but work. It can kind of bug you out, you know? And I was like, man, thank you, Mom. That means a lot to me, honestly. And, well, great news. I know I said I would talk about this kind of stuff. Baseball is back. The Dodgers played 4 games. They're 2-2. They won their first 2 games, lost their last 2 games. I'm very excited for baseball to be back because it gives me something to cheer for and root for because I love my Dodgers. I love baseball, so I'm glad to see it. But there was news I woke up to today by ESPN writing that the Miami Marlins in Florida where it's one of the biggest hotspots. You got Florida, Texas, and California right now that are, and um, 8 players tested positive in 2 days, and their game against the Baltimore Orioles, who are in the American League, got canceled because they think it's a hazard for others who haven't tested positive, and to bring other players around during this time. And frankly, that scares me because I'm like, man, they're 4 games in and they're already canceling games. It's not the Dodgers, thank God. But the Dodgers are going to Houston today. They play in Houston starting tomorrow. I was very much looking forward to this because as a Dodger fan, we hate the Astros. Basketball is back. They're having scrimmage games. I'm very excited to see the Lakers get back in action if they can keep everyone healthy and safe. I believe they will because they have everyone pretty much isolated who have tested negative. They're there. They're fine. I'm excited as a Laker fan because, frankly, they're just the best team in the NBA, hands down. They're better than the Clippers, and that's really their only competition. Um, which I think is good for the city. I think it's good for people. I think it's good for people's mental health to see the world kind of moving a little bit. Yeah, there's no crowd. It's a little weird. It's a little eerie. It's kind of creepy seeing an empty Dodger Stadium or an empty gymnasium, but you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard and Danny Green and them just balling out, and there's nobody there to watch. You got to watch it on your TV or your iPhone. But I think that's all good for the world, to be honest, to see people getting back to kind of a normal life. As normal as it's going to get for a while, I would say. Another thing that I noticed was everything going on with the election. Everyone is talking about, um, a lot of people are talking about Trump's comments, Trump this, Trump that, holding these new briefings. And I think it's about time that he sacks up, mans up, gets in front of the camera, and starts being honest with people. Do I think COVID is as bad as CNN or MSNBC are making it out to be? Or because frankly, we get a lot of our news information by media outlets, and I don't think that that's reliable. I think we should go off CDC and WHO because that's what they do. Like they're a health organization that collects data. And I think that's what we should go off of, not CNN, because if you believe everything CNN says, the world's going to end. And it's kind of troubling because right now in Texas, they had a hurricane hit uh, the Gulf of Mexico and Texas. So my prayers go out to everyone there that have been affected because I can't imagine that happening here in California, especially living on a border state where there's water or an ocean. I can't imagine that ever happening here. Um, but I can't imagine dealing with everything that's going on in the world and then a hurricane coming. Me personally, that would make me, very down and depressed about the world right now. There's so much negativity going on. I'll say this: I'm excited. Uh, I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'm gonna have my good friend Caesar on, um, and my friend DJ. We're gonna get into very heavy topics about interrelations with white people and black people, and I'm very excited to speak about that because I want people to know that yes, there are racial tensions. Yes, there is a little bit of a division, but there's no division in anyone that I know that is not the same color as me. Um, I'm excited for people to hear us talk about what's going on with that topic, and I want people to know that it's what you see on the news doesn't necessarily mean that's our reality. My reality is I have great relations with tremendous athletes and smart men that are black. And I don't believe that they treat me any differently because I'm white or I treat them any differently because they're black. They're great people, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they're one of the coolest people I know. And I'm thankful and I'm excited for that. So, with that being said, um, I hope everyone has a good day. Everyone has a blessed day. I know these times are crazy, but try to remember that we'll all get through this as long as we keep pushing and grinding every single day. Be there for one another, help one another out, and may God bless us. And I hope everyone has a good day. I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Anchor. I hope you all have a good day and stay blessed, everyone. And until then, goodbye.